With the finale of Better Call Saul Season 5 premiering in April 2020, the show has been on a 2-year-long hiatus. However, fans can start counting down the days as the final season of the prequel to the award-winning season Breaking Bad is almost here. With a release date of April 18th, 2022, fans are hoping to get some of their most burning questions answered, especially considering that it will be the final season of the show. Let's dive in and explore what those questions are. Lalo's revenge. Better Call Saul has not failed us with its abundance of antagonists. From Hector Salamanca to Chuck McGill, we've certainly had some great characters. However, none have resonated with the fandom as much as the cartel boss Lalo Salamanca has with his charismatic yet extremely violent tendencies. We were left with a cliffhanger at the end of Season 5 as Lalo barely escaped his own death, conspired by Nacho and Gus. With the characters being certain of their plan, Jimmy, Kim, and Gus are still under the false assumption that Lalo is out of the picture. But surprise, surprise, he lives. Not only that, he also discovers that his trusted subordinate, Nacho Varga, was the one to betray him. With this revelation, many, if not all, of the characters involved are put at a major risk. With all these events, fans are eagerly waiting to see how Lalo will attempt to get his revenge and which characters will suffer as a result. But do keep in mind, in the sequel, Breaking Bad episode Crawl Space, Gus gloats to Hector that all the Salamancas are dead. This certainly implies Lalo will die, but how and by whose hands? That is yet to be uncovered, and we cannot wait. What happens to Kim Wexler? You see, when you have a prequel to a well-known and fleshed out series like Breaking Bad, it is hard not to notice the missing characters in the sequel. That is the case with Jimmy's best friend, business partner, and of course lover, Kim Wexler. Her character not only fails to appear in Breaking Bad, but is never even mentioned. Does that spark good news for her? Most certainly not. With Kim being one of the main protagonists, fans are expecting some sort of grand explanation to explain her absence in Breaking Bad. The series does not shy away from its dark tone, leading to the immediate conclusion that Kim dies. Considering the events of the Season 5 finale, it is unlikely that her life is in no threat whatsoever, but does she die of her own accord or because of Jimmy's actions? That is yet to be seen. However, do keep in mind that Vince Gilligan is no ordinary storyteller. Kim dying is way too obvious and predictable. Vince may be plotting something else that we as the viewers would not see coming. There are a few predictions made by fans, however. Perhaps she is some sort of silent partner in Breaking Bad, or the two's paths are simply separate, with them breaking up. Regardless of the crazy speculations and theories, this is a question that has been in the minds of fans since her early appearance in the series. We've got our fingers crossed in hopes of finding out her fate before the series finale. Nacho Varga's fate. Similar to Kim, Nacho Varga does not appear in Breaking Bad, meaning his fate must be sealed somewhere in the Better Call Saul timeline. It is worrying that the Season 5's cliffhanger ends with him being Lalo's main target. Many of his family members have already faced the consequences of his failed assassination. With Nacho's father also being in danger, things do not seem to be looking good for Nacho. Could Nacho's quick wit save him like it had many times before? We'll have to see. Howard and HHM's fate. Being formally employed by him, Jimmy and Kim seem to have quite the feud with Howard Hamlin. Howard is the managing partner of Jimmy's brother's law firm, Hamlin, and McGill. After orchestrating his longtime friend and colleague's early retirement, death, Hamlin has been desperately attempting to repair HHM's reputation after it was dragged through the mud. On the flip side, Kim has been plotting against him and has come up with a revenge plan. The show has not dived into the specifics of the plan, but it seems to have Jimmy worried, meaning it could be something of a catastrophe. Jimmy did put effort into talking Kim out of it, but it did not seem as if she was convinced. As we just discussed the mystery of Kim's fate, the plan could be the potential end of Kim and Howard, but we will have to stick around to see what happens. Gene Takovic's fate. How do you add an element of mystery to a prequel where fans know who is going to survive and who isn't? You add sequences of events beyond that of the sequel. Vince Gilligan knows this very well, as he has been able to keep fans holding onto their seats with a series of black and white flash-forward scenes. Better Call Saul has dedicated much of the series to explore the events after Breaking Bad. Saul, better known as Jimmy, managed to escape imprisonment by moving to Omaha with his new identity, Gene Takovic. This was an iconic, fresh, start-over service of Saul, which he offered to Walt to help him outrun his enemies and the police. With the events of Breaking Bad ending, Saul was forced to undergo the same process himself. Under his alias, Gene Takovic, which fans also like to refer to as Cinnabon Jean, Jimmy, or Saul, managed to lay low working as a food court manager, certainly a huge shift away from his lawyer days. Things were looking good for him until his identity was put at risk by a taxi driver who recognized him in season 5. Will he be able to get through and have a happy ending as Jesse did, or will he share a similar fate to Walter White? It could honestly go either way. Will Walter White or Jesse Pinkman appear? Since the beginning of the show, fans wondered whether they would be given the pleasant surprise of Walter White or Jesse Pinkman making a cameo in the show. Eventually, things got developed so much in Better Call Saul that fans were so invested in Jimmy's story, they forgot about Walt and Jesse. However, now that Better Call Saul is nearing its end, fans are yet again desperate to know if there will be an overlap of the characters. Both the actors, Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, have been supportive of the idea and have been willing to jump at the moment they get requested. But as of yet, there has not been any confirmation of them appearing. Since Better Call Saul takes place 4 years before the events of Breaking Bad in 2008, Walt could still make an entrance. Although in this time period, he would still be an ordinary high school chemistry teacher, and his encounter with any of the characters, Jimmy, Gus, or Mike, would make no sense. Even if he did somehow meet them in the show, it would fail to hold up as he should have recognized them in Breaking Bad. The best shot of making Walt appear is with the scene of him walking into Saul's office in 2008, as he did in the original series. But there is still hope for Jesse's appearance. We all know that Jesse gets his happy ending after the events of Breaking Bad. In the flash forwards, Jesse and Gene Takovic could have an interesting run-in with one another. Gus's empire. Fans of Breaking Bad know that Gus Fring is an all-too-powerful leader, being in charge of the southwest arm of the Juarez cartel. Walt and Jesse join him when he is at the peak of his power and start cooking meth for him to further sell off. But in the Better Call Saul days, the Salamanca family is currently in charge and the main distributors of the business. Well, Gus has been working on his criminal schemes for quite some time and has already worked on his warehouse for the creation of drugs. But as of season 5, the work on his super lab is on hold due to Lalo. We know that Gus does succeed, eventually getting his genius underground lab beneath a laundry business. This could only mean that Lalo will be taken out of the picture eventually. But how will all that unfold? That's what we're all waiting to find out. How does Jimmy set up shop? Fans of Breaking Bad were surprised to see their cunning and slick lawyer get introduced as a naive and good-hearted lawyer in season 1 of Better Call Saul. The contrast was uncanny between what he was and what he would eventually become. However, throughout this series, fans have seen the process of Jimmy giving into his inner darkness and becoming Saul. In fact, the entire series has dealt with how and why he became who he became, with each tragedy taking him a step closer. Despite that, there are still a few missing puzzle pieces, like him setting up shop in the strip mall or him officially becoming Saul Goodman. Fans hope to fill in all those missing pieces with the final season of the show, making it come back full circle and link to the events of Breaking Bad. That's a wrap for this video. Which question are you dying to get answered about Better Call Saul? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.